in my life and a lot of other people's lives that I see, you know, they're so worked up, they're so involved in their own misery that they can't take a step back to just enjoy what they have and appreciate the good things in life, you know?
Or just taking that second to just kind of really just be mindful with your thought and being like in that moment and just enjoying just that moment of breathing and being alive, because like we really don't have an unlimited amount of these. We are going to die, you know. And it's like, why die having a majority of moments completely miserable? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, right now, for example, my life is not going exactly, you know, not everything's perfect. You know, I'm still working on some things. I'm still trying to get up there, still trying to prove myself. But right now, you know, I'm enjoying this moment. Like, look at the view behind us, man. You know, you don't see this every day. And I got the homie with me. Like, we just chilling, vibing.
Well, technically, I got the homie with me, but
yeah. but you know, we out here. You know what I mean? Not everything has to be perfect to have a good time.
I'm saying, like, I feel like I would say that, like, honestly, that was like one of the biggest things. I guess it's probably why I'm like, I mean, happy at all right now. It's just kind of, you know, like just like grounding myself and like being happy. Like, okay, I have good things in my life. Like, I have bad things in my life, but like I have these good things. Like, I've been focused on this bad. I've been focused on the bullshit for the entire week, but I'm not, you know, I'm going to focus on a good moment and relax right now. Like, you know, there's other times to worry about that shit. Like,
yeah,
it will come, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is, you know, worrying doesn't do you any good. You know what I mean? Why are you worrying about anything? And that's a lesson I need to learn. You know, I still find myself worrying sometimes, and I'm like, you know, there's nothing you can do about it right now, and if there is, then do that. Or if there's not, then understand that, and, you know, realize that it's gonna take time. You know what I mean? And not every problem, you know, is gonna be fixed right there, right now. You know what I mean? It takes patience, takes time, takes, you know, understanding.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's one of the first things, like Epictetus said in some of his manuscripts, that if you can control the problem, then you can allow yourself to worry about it because you can find a solution. But if you can't control the problem, then it is not a matter of you. It simply just isn't something that you should be, you know, putting energy into it, because if you can't put energy into fixing that problem or fixing that, you know, little pinch point, then you're not going to be able to, like, worrying isn't going to be able to fix it either, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good point, because, you know, if you can't fix it, if it's an external thing and there's nothing you can do about that, you know, then let it go. The only thing you can change is yourself, you know what I mean? If you're part of the problem, you know what I mean? If it's in your life and you're having a problem, you know, part of that, it lies within you and who you are as a person. And, you know, the best thing you could do, in my personal experience, is better yourself, you know what I mean? You know, if there was a problem, this happened because you did this, you know, change the way you act, you know, become a better person.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, a lot of problems also are just you straight lying to yourself, like, oh yeah, I drank 4 times a week, but, you know, it's not affecting me, this and that, or I you know, smoke every day, that's not affecting me. Like, you're gonna have problems, you know, arising from that, you know, there's always something you could do to change yourself for the better. You know, there's always something that even the David Goggins, he's still working every single day to make himself better and improve, right? Because we're humans, and like, I mean, we literally can't be perfect if we wanted to. Every day we have a flaw, but it's just, I'm losing my
no
losing
yeah
my point of thought.
Honestly, that was a point I was talking about earlier in my video, is, you know, you can always be doing better. You know, like you said, nobody's perfect. You can always be improved. I don't care if you're fucking, you know, David Goggins or, you know, Bill Gates, whoever the fuck is out there, you know what I mean? And yourself, you know, you might be doing good in life. You think you're doing hot shit. Nah, man, you could always be doing fucking better, and I know you can. But also, too, at the same time, you could always be doing worse. So having that middle ground and realizing I'm getting better, but I still got so much more to go.
Yeah, honestly, like, being happy with where you're at, but also understanding, like, not being comfortable with where you're at, like, being happy with what you have, but still, like, you know, everybody needs a goal. It's like, you know, like, attain. Everybody needs to be able to attain things and like improve upon themselves. But you know, I guess like our real point today is really just focusing on that positive stuff that you do have at that moment, because the stuff that you're working for it, you know, you like, yes, you don't have that, but there's things that you were working for a year ago, 6 months ago, you know, that you do have right now. And the second that you get it, you forget that you wanted that thing desperately. Like, you have that satisfaction, you have the rush of whatever, and then you kind of just, on to the next thing, you know? And that on to the next thing, it's like, I feel like it's literally enabling, or it's like stopping you from being happy with just what you got, you know?
That's real. I feel like, you know, nowadays, this society, you know, life is so fast paced. Like you said, it's always the next thing, the new car, the new house, you know, the new girl, you know, whatever it is. Yeah, exactly. Keeping up with the Joneses. And, you know, I was looking at my Snapchat today, you know, looking at my memories, you know, from a year ago, 2 years ago. And honestly, you know, I was looking at like, damn, I'm so much different than I was a year, 2 years ago, even 6 months ago, you know?
Yeah.
I look back, I'm like, damn, you know, I'm a whole different person, yo. And that made me really stop and appreciate, like, you know, I'm glad, you know, I can appreciate this. You know, I feel like I grew for the better.
Yeah, like it's always, like you always keep going, but like you were saying, like it's just, you're just, everything just so different all the time. It's just like, day by day, you're just never gonna see it, but you know, I mean, well, it's kind of like the point of stopping and seeing it.
Yeah.
Right? It's literally stopping and going, well, this is my blessings of today. You know, and in a year, you're gonna look back and you're not gonna have the same circumstances. You know, hopefully not.
Yeah.
But you know, it's always just about, just chill out. Just chill out, dude. Like, you know
chill
what I
the
mean?
fuck
Like,
out.
Chill out. like stop worrying so damn much, which is easier said than done. But
easier said than done.
It takes mindful thought, though. It really does. Like, the more you are positive, like I was talking in one of my last video, the more you're positive and the more you feed that subconscious thought, that positive thought, the more your conscious thought's going to be just right. I mean, the more you're just going to be thinking just positive thought, and it's going to be a loop. So most of the time, people are in a negative feedback loop. You have to break that negative feedback to get in a positive feedback loop. And I feel like people forget that, as everything dictates in as the laws of nature, right? So if there's a bad thing happening to you, there's a good thing that also can happen to you, correct? Like, you can't roll a rock uphill, you know what I mean? There's prey, predator. A lot of people forget that if you just stop and allow yourself to be the positive and be good, then it will continue, there's negative comes from negative, positive comes from positive, right?
Yeah, and I don't know, I feel like you can definitely roll a rock uphill, but why would you roll a rock uphill when you could just roll one downhill? You know, let gravity take it. You know, why are you pushing it? Why are you doing all this extra, you know what I mean? Pushing it uphill when you just let it do its thing.
Unless you are on a stoicism journey and pushing your rock. If you enjoying it, you know, you better be pushing your rock.
I'm not saying don't push yourself.
But I mean more push, so like you can't throw a rock uphill and then expect it to naturally just roll uphill. You know what I mean? Kind of do.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, the rock metaphor is a very good one for a lot of things. But yeah, it's literally I can't throw something up in the air and then expect it to just continue you know what I mean? So it's I can't be negative and then expect something positive to happen from it. What happened? When you do everything has consequence. We've all learned this from a child, you know. So it's what you do is, you know, naturally will have a good or bad consequence. And if 9 times out of 10, you know, and life's unfair, bullshit happens. But if you're doing good, you're gonna have something good happening. You go to the gym, you're gonna get gains, you're gonna get healthier. You know, I
like to live my life motto I like to live by is everything is a double-edged sword. You know, everything can be good, but everything can also be bad. It's all the way you use it. You know what I mean? And there's this song by Nappy Roots. It's called Work in Progress. And I feel like that's all life ever is, you know? You're never gonna be finished. You're never gonna be at that point where you made it. You know what I mean? You might reach goals, milestones, but there's always gonna be another one. There's always gonna be another one after that until you die. You know what I mean?
And I mean, that's kind of the point. You can find yourself very unhappy in that cycle, you know, and you should love the cycle, but you should, you know, take your steps back though, and because what's the point of continuously progressing if you can never be happy with what you've attained? And if you're constantly, yeah, I'm, you know, I mean, shit, I'm like 135. 2 months ago I was not. I could be pretty pissed off that I'm still skinny, or I could just continue going and be happy that I gained what I gained, and realize that, okay, yeah, it's a sign of progress, and you know what, I am happy for that, and that's a blessing. That's a, you know, it's an achievement. You know, 6 pounds of muscle or 80 pounds of muscle, you still did something.
Either way, you're gaining muscle.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's the start, not the end. You know,
Yeah.
it's literally the start. A few months. So
Exactly. And you know, I like to look at life as a painting. You know, and you're the artist, and we're painting it. We're working hard. We're having creative thoughts. You know, we're putting all our time and effort into it. But you know, sometimes as the artist, you need to take a step back, admire the work, admire the view.
yeah,
It's beautiful. And we forget that. I forget that.
everybody forgets that.
It's ugly as fuck too, you know? But those ugly moments, even then,
Yeah, I mean,
they're beautiful in their own way.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, I guess using the canvas or like the painting metaphor, it's like, that's why it's a work in progress, like on the edges where the wet paint's at, and it's all messy and there's fucking shit going on all over your hands. But that where you started 2 days ago, you know, in the corner or wherever, depending, I don't know, you probably started in the background, but you know, where you started in those details that are like, you know, forming from the masterpiece, like that's the work, that's the place. Like it might not be done, it might not be fully there, but I mean, you can appreciate, you know, what you did. Others can appreciate what you did. They can understand, yeah, it's not a full painting yet, but shit takes time, you know. Well, look what you do have right now. Like, this is gonna be, you know, something, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And as our friend Gio always says, do fucking better, man.
do fucking better.
Do better.
For real.
Get gains,
Yeah, get gains.
get fucking money,
Get money, get up. Keep
Get
your
up.
mindset right, you know, create, train type shit. Like,
get up, stay up, motherfuckers.
stay up.
Let's go!